Today we are going to do a video on 5 essential things that you need in your kitchen to create that delicious, amazing food. First of all, Jen, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for accepting my invitation. I thought who would be better to know what we need in the kitchen than you. Jane has a lot of kitchen stuff. You would think her house has how many people? 10 people, because you've got so many stuff.
I do, but
Why?
the reason why it makes life easy. Like there's every time I do something like, oh, I actually need this equipment. It makes sense.
Okay.
And so there are things which really make sense for a household, and there are things which make sense for chefs.
Okay.
So
there's a difference there.
Yes.
Certain things that chef needs.
And if you want to elevate your cooking so that you can impress people, there are certain things you need to have. Like not every household makes pastries, for example.
Okay.
So you won't need equipment like this.
Okay.
You see, but for me, I need it.
It's essential. You must have it.
It is essential. Okay. But it's not a must.
All right. So before we take too long, let's get into the video. Jen, what's the first thing a person must have in their kitchen?
First of all, let's start with a knife.
Okay.
Guys, I can't emphasize the importance of a knife.
Why are knives important? Is it you just need it to cut whatever or chop what you need?
Exactly. Food. That's why food starts preparation. You have to prep your food, unless if you eat from a McDonald's or
those packaged foods or takeaway.
Yeah, or frozen foods.
Yeah.
You need a knife for your vegetables. Because also how you cut is important and all those
But
things.
Jen, let's be honest, your knives are fancy. Do we really need such knives?
You need a good knife.
Okay.
Guys, you don't understand. A knife makes all the difference. A bad knife gets you into accidents with cutting yourself. You need a knife and a knife sharpener. You need a sharp knife. Okay. You need a chef knife. It's very important.
This is gorgeous.
It helps.
Oh my
It cuts things faster, and you learn how to cut with this, and at least you need a paring knife.
Okay. What does this
small things, and just making sure that there are things like smaller things like fruits getting those nice cuts and the details from from their food. And bread knife, but not that important. These two I would recommend. And always have a sharpener. I don't know where mine is, but you need a sharp knife. Otherwise, you're creating a disaster in your kitchen. That's why we end up cutting ourselves, because you're cutting and you're adding force.
Okay. So the knives basically should be, easy to cut and no force added.
And well kept as well. You need to. I keep mine in here because it keeps them shaped.
I hope you guys are able to see how she keeps her knife.
Yeah. So, and when you keep them everywhere and then they underneath that's what ends up making sure that this place loses their working capacity. I don't know what that is.
No, I hear you. I hear you. So, and that's why you can see that some knives, they tend to bend, lose their actual shape and so forth.
Yeah. Okay. And keep your knives away from your husband. This is a very expensive knife.
Yeah, I can see.
My husband fixing everything around.
Oh, so you mean the husbands, they don't care the quality of the knife? They'll fix the house, they'll remove the bulb, forgetting that it's an expensive knife. I can see what happened to it.
This knife literally costs 1,000 rand.
1,000 rand for a knife.
Don't go buying 1,000 rand worth of a knife.
Basically, they don't have to be expensive to be good knives. It's just that you're a chef and you must have certain things. Okay, what's the next thing? Number 2.
Thing is a chopping board.
Okay.
I remember growing up in Kenya, we used to do skuma wiki.
Yeah.
And then you will use our hands like this.
And then you find
you have so many cuts all over. Guys, chopping board, it helps you maintain your manicured nails.
Oh, wow.
And not cut yourself. Make sure it's steady before you use it. Get a cloth.
Okay.
Get a cloth, wet cloth, put it underneath.
Oh, okay.
And then put it on. It secures it.
Okay.
See.
Oh. You might not be able to see what Jen has just did. She just put a wet cloth and then she took her cutting board and put it on top of the wet cloth. So it makes it stable.
It makes it stable. You don't want to chop and then things you're like trying to chop.
The chopping board is moving all over. I hear you. Okay, that's a technique that I didn't know.
And also another, we're still on the prep. Another thing, it's very good to invest in a small bin next to where you pray.
Okay.
Like this, so that whatever, like a bottle or something, not a bottle, a basket.
Okay.
Where you put all your scrap.
Okay.
That means you don't have a lot to clean afterwards.
I hear you.
Okay, but those are the two things that you need first. And of course, you need something to cook.
Okay, number 3.
You need something to cook.
We need pots.
You need pots.
Okay.
I recommend 3 types of pots. I recommend a really good pot like this. It's like,
but this is
fancy.
Fancy.
It is. It's quite expensive. You don't have to buy this one. But if you want quality, not all pots are healthy as well.
Okay.
If you want quality, get a quality pot. It will also last you forever.
Wow, these are just so fancy. You know, actual fact, I need pots in my house. I don't have pots. But I was doing my homework. The pots are so expensive these days. Why?
They are. This alone on its own, it was 1,000.
Oh.
But I love it. It also works as a casserole.
1,000 rand for one pot. I mean, I know it's a beautiful pot. I know.
It works as a casserole. It's like, it's
okay. You can literally even dish, you can put it on the dining table as it is.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a non-stick, of course.
Yes.
Okay. So we need a pot.
You need a pot.
So we need a knife, number 1. Number 2, we need a chopping board. Number 3, we need pots.
And if you can invest good money.
Okay.
In a pot and knives.
Good money.
Good money.
Okay.
It will really save you a lot of headaches.
Okay.
Because there was this pot we had at home. Like it burned everything.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? But this, you don't, like, you clean it safe and also just take care of your stuff. If you have people working for you, make sure that
they know how to clean your pot.
How to clean your pot.
Otherwise, you spend 1,000 rand only to find your pot has been, scratched and so forth.
That happened with, you need a pan.
Okay.
You need a pan. Like this was a nice non-stick pan. Then
you had someone clean. Your helper came and
then used them.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I'm using it, but not for the things that I was using it for.
Okay.
My idea was to use it for pancakes.
Okay.
Like those breakfasty things.
Yeah.
But now I'm just using it but it's a nice.
Okay.
Also invest in a pan
Okay.
for patties, for pancakes,
yes.
for shallow frying and stuff, and it's like a wok sort of, like stir fry and sort of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 3, we need good pots.
You need good pots.
The next video, you're going with me to shop for some pots, hopefully, because the pots are so expensive. I went to the shop, I couldn't believe the prices.
They are. And of course, just get also like small pots. Like just get at least 3.
Yeah.
And then the last pot.
Okay.
But this is an advanced pot that I'm going to show you. But it's really amazing. And you can actually leave it to the next generation and the generation after.
That's
you
amazing.
Need a cast iron.
Wow.
You need a cast iron.
And these things are becoming expensive.
They are, but like I bake my bread in here.
Oh really?
My sourdough bread. Like I put in my oven.
Oh wow.
It's just a one wonder pot.
Oh okay.
It's a one wonder pot. Like
yeah.
I can't even mention how this has been a lifesaver.
Oh, that's amazing.
And
it's
you can also dish it in and
beautiful.
all those.
Oh wow.
So that is for pots.
Okay.
How many did you
Number
do?
4. We're going to number 4. So pots are very, 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 very important.
They're the basic.
Okay.
They are really, this is like really basic things that we need
okay.
in our kitchen. If you have these things that I'm showing you, you can cook a good meal.
Okay. So, you know, I know sometimes one goes to a China shop and they buy some pots and, you know, you just don't feel they need to invest in good pots. But as you've mentioned, health, you know, some pots are also not healthy to cook in. Okay. All right. Number 4.
Mixing bowls, guys. And we're also trying to keep that look, you know, that look that makes you want to stay in the kitchen. Get glass ones.
Okay.
Get glass ones. They match everything in your house, you know, in your kitchen.
Okay.
Mixing bowls, like when you chop those things, you need
somewhere to put them. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
What type of bowls do we need? Maybe let's start there.
You need a large bowl. I use this for everything. I mix my dough in here when I'm not using my stand mixer. I use this when I'm done with spinach, put them there. If I want to mix things in, a large bowl. You need a large bowl.
Okay.
I use this.
So a large bowl is a must have.
Yes. Okay. And just a few of these, like chop your onions, put them in smaller, because and remember, so in cooking there is something called mise en place. I think we've spoken about it. That's basically is planning ahead
before you start.
So you have, and because food cook at different temperature at different time, you want your things separate. So if you have this, you know, your onions are here, your tomatoes are here, because when you cook you don't put your tomatoes.
And I wanted to mention that these are different bowls from what we use for breakfast, right?
Yeah, we will get there.
Okay, so we need a large bowl, we need few smaller bowls. Okay.
I have even smaller and smaller, but this.
These are essential.
Okay. So
the last thing that we need in the kitchen. Or you want to show us more bowls to have?
That's good.
That's the basics, basically.
So we obviously we have prepared, we have cooked. Now you need things to dish stuff.
Yes, number 5.
Yes. We need plates. And you need plates of different types.
Oh, okay. I was wondering actually why you have different types of plates and
Yes.
Do you want to take us through it? Like something like this. What will you use it for?
You cannot save soup on here.
Oh yes.
Like you are not going to save, like, and also you are not going to put soup and bread in one. It will soak it before you even eat it.
Okay, so this one, if you look at these 2 bowls, okay, maybe let's look at this. They are different in sizes. So this you'll use it for soup, and something like this, what will you use it for?
I'll use this for like a nice bowl of pasta.
Oh, I hear
you. A bowl of salad.
Okay.
A bowl, you know, like things like that.
Okay.
And then the plates.
Yeah.
You know,
plates are essential.
Plates are essential. Good plates. Invest in white plates.
Okay.
Invest in white plates. I don't think plates are expensive.
No, they are not. And there are a lot of, you know, choice. Like there's variety. To choose
you need side plates to put those things that you don't want to add on your plate. For example, how I eat, sometimes I'll eat my salad. I'll put it either in here or just put my bread on the side, and then as I'm eating, I'm not mixing.
Are these the saucers?
Side plates.
Side plates. Side plates.
Saucers are like the smaller ones.
Okay, the tiny ones. Okay. Okay.
So
Alright.
you need plates.
So
plates is essential.
Okay.
Then casserole dishes.
Okay.
Especially if you want to be baking things, you have them in different
sizes. Casserole dishes.
So I have bigger ones when I have visitors. Then I have smaller ones for me and my husband. So what I do is,
you can bake in these.
Yes.
You can serve what they are presentable.
So like when I make like shepherd pie, macaroni cheese, I make like individual ones for us.
Oh, nice.
Then I will have that. I'll even put them on a plate and then save a salad on the side.
So you have it as something like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I'll put a salad on the side.
Oh wow, that's lovely.
Yeah, but you have them in bigger sizes and so on. I think it's something to really look into and invest in as well. Okay. So I think that is really essential.
So these are basically the basics that everyone must have.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I show you my favorite things?
Please do.
Like there are few, but let me show you.
Okay.
Because I think one of my favorite things, I think they make life
easier.
Okay. Firstly,
so what you are going to show us are not the basics, but if you have them, they will help.
Yes.
Okay.
So I like meal prepping because I'm a working woman.
Okay.
And we don't cook every day.
Yeah.
Like you need nice glass
containers. Okay.
Because they keep food well. But apart from that, I know most black women and not scarfed. Tupperware. Okay, let me tell you something. Why I don't do plastic Tupperware. They leave the smell of the last food in your Tupperware.
Oh, yes.
You see? But this one, once you wash it, it goes back to normal.
Oh, I hear you.
Then,
because Tupperware, sometimes you even see they change color because, you know, maybe if you put a stew there, curry there, you see that it leaves some yellowish and the smell of curry would actually stay in there.
So I have a lot of those. That's why I put stuff in for my husband to take to work, for when he comes from work and I'm not yet home. He knows. And
do you know something that I've been wanting to actually Google and find out? Can you put this in the freezer?
You can. I do that all the time.
Okay. All right.
I put it in the freezer. He comes home. He warms the food and voila. And
I mean, there are certain things that I freeze, but I usually use freezer bags. But sometimes, you know, I've been tempted to use something like this in the freezer. I didn't know that you can.
Talking about the freezer, actually, let's talk about this.
This freezer bags.
Freezer bags. Like
and these are reusable, aren't they?
They are reusable. So what I do, like for smoothies, I just put
even smoothies.
Yes. Okay. No, what I do, I put the fruits. I like
separate
the fruit.
Okay.
So when he wants to go to the gym or whatever, he just puts in the blender, everything.
Okay.
Even the food, like I will cook a lot of beans, lentils, and whatever. And then I'll just put them in there.
Is there any particular place that you recommend we go and buy our freezer bags in South Africa?
This one, they were very cheap.
Okay.
What is this place? We'll put it down.
We'll put it in the description box.
Put it in the description box. I forgot the name. Actually, I buy most of my stuff there.
Oh, okay.
Because these are really like essential, especially if you are a busy person. I think they are needed.
I think those are the basics.
Yes. One more thing. One last thing. And of course, you need like a blender.
Yeah.
You need like a food processor.
Yeah, but those are like, know.
But something I can swear by.
She's getting it out of her kitchen cabinet. We are shooting in Jen's kitchen, by the way.
Something I can swear by.
We are not swearing, but she can stand on this thing. Yeah.
This.
Is this a pressure cooker? Yeah.
This is a pressure cooker. But let me tell you why.
Oh, wow.
So at night, before I go to bed, I put in my beans. In the morning, they're still warm. So it cooks. You just put in whatever beans.
Yeah.
When it's done, keeps it warm or whatever. Okay. So then I take it out. Then I put in rice before I go to work.
Oh, wow.
When I come back, the rice is still warm.
Oh, nice.
And cooked.
Does it take a lot of electricity, by the way? People have been asking, you know, the whole pressure cooker and whatever.
It does. It is quick. It is quick. Remember, it's cooking by... It's not cooking necessarily by heat, but by...
Keeping the pressure in.
The pressure in.
Yeah. The heat in,
It cooks beans for less than 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. So this is really a must-have.
This is a must-have. And apart from that, because what we are doing in my household, we are getting more healthier, right? So I make my own yogurt, vegan yogurt. I make my own, like I also ferment things and pickle things. There is like all these thing. Like, so I use this to also save money.
Yeah.
So when we buy a lot of produce,
yeah,
pickle them,
okay,
put them in the fridge. Use this thing.
Oh wow! And no particular brand that you recommend? It has to.
I don't know if like this
okay.
is the one I am using currently.
Okay.
So it's called. We'll put it also there.
We'll put it into the description box.
Get this thing, guys. Especially if you are a busy mom. Make food for your kids. Perfect.
Oh wow!
Like, you just leave it. You don't have to monitor it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jen. I think she has showed us the basics that we need. Next time we are going to do, you know, some additional, the advanced items that we need. If you want to be fancy in your kitchen, or you just want to make things, you know, easier for you to do. Things like smoothies, baking, you know.
But for now, invest in good knives, in good pots.
Okay.
Everything else will come later.
And a chopping board.
Okay. And do not get too many plastic chopping boards. Those things, when they start getting old, then they peel off. And then you have plastic things in your food.
Okay.
Glass one works terrible.
I know. So I used to have a glass one. It would just make so much noise for me.
Works terrible.
For me, I was like, okay,
just invest in a good wooden chopping board.
Okay.
You can eat wood too.
Yeah. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much, Jen. I think this has been so useful to me and the viewers, of course.
You're welcome.
Thank you. If you have a question for Jane, please put it in the comment section and she's going to answer it. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Until next time is bye.